Theraband here, and we're going to do some footwork. This really helps with leg stretching, so hamstring stretching without pelvic tucking, pelvic stability, some abdominal work, and definitely some foot manipulation in a proper alignment or leg alignment. So really, really helpful for everybody. And it mimics having a machine with you. So it mimics the foot work specifically on the tower because you're upside down. But it definitely mimics footwork on a chair, footwork in the reformer. So you're gonna lay down. And I'm gonna just explain a little bit about the pelvis. So as always, this is a big thing for me, your pelvis is your pelvic bowl and your ASI is these two bony pieces right here. That's the edge of your pelvis. That is kind of directs you a little bit of where the femur head, which is the ball, connects inside your bowl. That's your hip. So when you're moving your bowl, you're going around the hip. And then you move the bowl out and you go around the hip the other direction. You're always trying to lengthen your spine every single time, right? When you move your leg up and down, you're trying to move just the ball of the leg and the stick inside the pelvis. So you don't want your pelvis to move with your leg, because that's sometimes you do, maybe, but in terms of structural, you want to make sure that your leg can move without the movement of the pelvis. So we're going to put our feet into this Theraband. Carefully. And you're going to try to get all the metatarsals, all the balls of the feet in the Theraband. And you're going to point your feet and you're going to try to find Pilates V, okay? And then you're going to bring that Theraband, your legs, to a spot where the stick and the ball can be inside your pelvis, inside that bowl, without curling that ASIS towards you, where you don't feel your lower lumbar flattening out in the mat. You want to keep, and you can almost feel the rocking on your sacrum. You want to be on top of that bony part, that sacrum part. So you feeling a long, neutral spine, okay? And wherever my legs fall with that is fine. The closer you get, sometimes you have to fight it with your abdominals, but sometimes your legs are just too tight. And then you're just going to bend your knees inside of you, trying to get that flexion without curling the tail in. So you don't want to curl that tail in. You're going to try to use some abdominal work to feel that reach of your sit bones to the mat, and then you straighten right back up. You're bending in, and you're straightening right back up. You're bending, and you're straightening. You're going to do that 8 times. Then you're going to go into your bird on a perch feet, which your feet are wrapped. And you're going to do the same thing. Your legs are together. My knees are touching, but that's okay. So then my feet don't touch. You're just trying to angle it. You're just trying to hold onto a ball. You're going to pull in. You're going to only go in where your tail can stay nice and long, where your bowl does not curl into you. So I'm still finding my abdominals to kind of flatten and stretch out as you bring your legs back up. And then you exhale all that breath into you so that you can really feel the flexion of your hip socket. And then you inhale to press those legs all the way up. You're going to do that 8 to 9 times as well. And then you're going to go on your heels. Again, all of this is in classical Pilates. You do it on the mat work or any of the equipment. And again, you're going to bend in. You're going to hold like a yoga block. So you're pulling and inhale and pushing up and away. You're trying to get as much space in this hip socket as possible, and then much flexion. You're feeling that femur rotating inside of you, and then you press it up. Legs are gonna be aligned with your middle toe, your ankle joint, the middle of your knee, and the middle of your hip socket. So you're just trying to pull them all. And by being upside down, you can see any inequities in your toes, or the way your feet kind of want to roll. Maybe they want to roll to one right, or they rotate to one left. Your knees might roll. So you are trying to fight that. So if you can't get super deep without something moving on you, you want to keep that movement smaller and just organize that way. And then the last one is tendon stretch. You're going to put your feet in. Again, everything is square. You're going to be slightly hip width apart. And then you're just going to point and flex. And point and flex. Try to make sure, I need to get this even a little bit more. You're going to try to really make sure that your all 5 toes, all 5 bones or metatarsals are square. So that might mean that you maybe have to reach a little bit more with your big toe, or maybe a little bit more with your baby toe. And the last thing is, for a nice big lower lumbar stretch, you can just pull your legs into you, and you can allow your pelvis to curl and feel that stretch in your leg. Awesome, thank you. Okay.